It's good to be here. So, boy, I have to tell you, I don't know where you are, but I'm in Chicago and it is so cold. And normally I like the cold. Today, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I took my wonderful dog out for a walk and even he was shivering and he has a fur coat. So I thought, oh, wait a second here as I stood there in my down feathers, but it was really very cold. Anyway, but so it's good to be inside and it's good to be here with friends. So thank you very much for being here, joining us. Um, I've been getting a lot, not a lot, a handful though, right? More than one. Um, Letters from people, notes from people talking about trying to clear things up from the past and then trying to like create their future or find some kind of co-creative right relationship where you have some impact on the future. So I thought this would be a great topic for us to address in our session today. So so there are a few things we're going to do here. First of all, we're going to take a couple minutes to get centered. So we'll do like a little centering practice. And then I'll give you some information, some insights I'll share with you that have come to me in my own personal work. And then, as always, I'm here to answer some of your questions. So if you have questions, you can always chat them in, and I'll be happy to address them to the best of my ability. Okay. So first of all, why don't we take a moment and close our eyes wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Close your eyes and open your awareness. And wherever you are in the course of your day, give yourself this moment. Okay. You can, in your mind's eye, step away from the morning, the afternoon, your right, the time that has passed most recently. Just step away from it. Good. Let it be what it's been. Let yourself be who and what you are in the here and now. Excellent. And take another moment and distinguish yourself from the future, right? That which is yet to be. You may have many tasks awaiting you, opportunities, people to see, things to do in the coming hours, even days. But for now, it can all wait. Good. Separating yourself, not separating, but distinguishing yourself from your own past and your own future. I ask you now to open your awareness to the life force emanating from the heart of the planet to you in this moment. Letting yourself be fully supported by that. From the core of the earth to the soles of your feet. There is a pathway of life, light force. Yes. That nurtures and sustains you as you walk the earth. Good. Mm-hmm. Directing your awareness now to the point of light approximately 18 inches above the crown of your head. Just go up there in your mind's eye And let yourself become aware of the light, the light that shines down over you and through you. Right. Illuminating your mind, invigorating your body, and inspiring your spirit. And so we stand as points of light within a magnificent field of light, empowering and uplifting us as we make our way through the human journey. Thank you. So why don't we leave this be, okay? Then open your eyes and join us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Debbie's here and Aura. Terrific. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for stopping by. So I've had some inquiries about clearing the past and people being very frustrated because whatever, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're not satisfied with their practices of clearing the past. So it's interesting when we're working in the Akashic record using the pathway prayer process. So where we are now, we turn around and we consider the past, right? Whether it's any area of your life, you pick any area, okay? So I have someone who was asking about clearing up old patterns with regard to their career, right? So we've got work, we've got health, and let's not forget soulmates, right? And relationships. So these are kind of the big three. So wherever we are, right, we take a moment, hi Cindy, and we turn around and we consider our situation, right? We can do this in our records, we can do it outside of our records. And what oh good, Aura's excited about the conference. Yes, in 2021 in August, we're going to have the teacher training here in Chicago. So I hope you can come. Anyway, so when we're considering our experiences, right? Let's take relationships, right? And we may find that, our pattern isn't so good, right? Perhaps we consistently pick unavailable people, or we pick people who are, I don't know, they're good in the beginning and then things tank, or we find we are irresistibly drawn to people with whom we have incredible conflict, right? For some reason, I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we here? Why am I with this person? All we do is argue. Happens all the time, right? And so we understand there must be karma, right, between us. And we want to clear it up and go free. Here's the challenge. We know that karma is cause and effect. That's all karma is. Okay, so in very simple terms, if I eat a chocolate cake every day, at the end of, won't be long in my case, the end of a week, my pants are going to be too tight. It's the way it is. That's karma. Now, life doesn't say it's good, it's bad, it's anything. Life just says when you take certain actions, you will produce certain results. That's all karma is, right? Now, stuck karma is another story altogether. Working in my records, what I've discovered is that stuck karma, oh, Natalia's here and Jeffrey, hi, nice to see you guys. How does karma get stuck? How does this pattern of cause and effect, right? Actions and consequences, thoughts and actions. What causes this to get stuck and repeat itself over and over and over? What causes that is negative judgment. Anytime we have a negative judgment about the cause, the effect, or the people involved, any negative judgment about it will cause the pattern to get stuck, because the grand purpose is that everyone grows into loving themselves and others unconditionally with, right, ouch, It's a big challenge, right? This is spiritual work. And so when we find ourselves in these repetitive patterns, right? It's like we get into a job and we're like, wherever I go, it's always, why do I keep finding the same terrible boss? Why do I keep finding these dreadful co-workers, right? Whatever the problems are. We want to begin to look, and it's great if we can open up our records, shine the Akashic light on the situation so we can see it clearly. And in that space of infinite kindness and respect, it's easier, it's easier to be honest with ourselves about our motives and our actions. So when we look at this, whether it's a relationship or a work situation, even a health crisis, we can look and see, oh, do I think I'm a jerk or an idiot for consistently picking these bad jobs and the wrong people, right? For consistently choosing the chocolate cake, right? And then I'm mad at my genes. The genes have done nothing wrong. Trust me. Okay. So here's what happens. The law of energy is this. That which we condemn, right? Whenever we have negativity, it causes patterns to stick. So if I am being hard on myself, right? Or let's say I'm hard on the other people involved. I say, oh, that whole group of spouses, they're all terrible. It's them, right? Still negative judgment. Still negative judgment. And I am stuck, right? I am stuck. I will keep picking the same kind of spouse. Then, and it's the same thing with the job. If it's all, it's the boss, it's the company, it's corporations, it's the system. As long as I have a negative judgment about myself, other people involved, or any of the causes or effects, I am, I want to say doomed, but I don't think that's the best word. I think the best word is destined, right? It is my destiny. I am headed in the direction to repeat the same pattern over and over and over. Do you want to, yeah, you can turn that off. Okay. So we want to understand, right, that what causes patterns to repeat themselves incessantly, almost like, how is this happening? It happens almost beyond us, even though it's through us. How is that, right? How is that? And what do we do about it? From an Akashic perspective, I mean, one of the great things I love about working in the Akashic record is that it enables me to perceive, to recognize, to identify myself, others, and any circumstance, right, through the lens of unconditional love, because this is a spiritual, right? It's a spiritual realm. That's what spiritual is. It's loving. All right. So as I begin to assess my situation from this point of view, what happens is that things start to shift. So instead of being mad as sin, right? Like, I'm sorry, did it again, or they did it again, or all those kinds of things. What happens is the more I understand, wait a second, there's no malice here, right? I never intentionally said I'm going to go marry the wrong person. Nobody ever says that. Come on. Nobody ever says, oh, I've been offered these wonderful jobs, but I'm going to take the one that's really bad. No, come on. Nobody's stupid. People are not stupid. Okay. So as we begin to see that we are always making the best possible selections at any given time, and all of our choices are inspired by the possibility that we can expand for ourselves the experience of being loved, feeling safe, and enjoying our lives. Every choice, right? So as we look at our past, so when we talk about how do we clear old things, so what we do is we start to look at, consider, reflect upon situations we're in, people we've been with, jobs we've had, whatever the issues, we start to look at that through this lens of unconditional love. Okay. This is not smarmy, right? This isn't like ooey gooey sentimental. That's not what this is. It's actually, there's a maturity about it, right? Where we look and say, oh, yes, yes, I see that. Could I have compassion for myself? Yeah, I didn't really mean to like derail my life, even though that's what happened. Yeah, it happens. Come on, let's calm down. So, this is the way. So, as we make peace, now I'm not saying we have to be excited about it, like, oh, isn't it great? Everything tanked. No, I'm not asking you to be foolish about these things. I'm asking you to be real and honest and compassionate with yourself. Okay. And in so doing, those old patterns start to collapse. Okay. Working in the Akashic record is not magical, right? It's not like, oh, it was magic. No, I don't know what that is. It's not the Akashic record. But so when we look at the record, the idea is not that we go in and erase the past. Actually, we can't. I mean, that's a little goofy if you think about it. The idea that we could change what happened. No, we can't. But what we can transform, what is transformable, right, is our understanding, our interpretation, and consequently our experience of who we have been in this life and in other times and places. So rather than being haunted by mistakes, our own and the mistakes of others, right? We're not. We have peace. We accept, right? We have really come to terms with the fact that we've done our best, and so has everyone else involved, right? And that as we do that, the effect, the influence, you know how it feels like sometimes the past, you're carrying it around like, what happens is that goes away. It's diminished. The past becomes lighter. We become more free, right? And then we start to move toward, more fulfillment of our dreams, more of what we want. Now, there seems to be a little confusion about, I want to say writing our future or something like that. Denise is there. Hi, Denise, and Kevin. Hey, Kevin, and Danielle, Hazel, and Belinda. Nice to see you guys. So there's I got a note from someone who talked about her exasperation because she kept writing what she wanted for her future, and she would open her records and write it about her future. The problem was she didn't seem to be any closer. Here's the idea. The Akashic record is not about manipulating our future. It's about opening ourselves up to the path of, I want to say it's like an expanding path. It's a path that expands our experience of being loved. Okay. Now, most of us, maybe all of us, we have ideas for what we want. There's always a possibility that there's something greater we haven't thought of yet. And that's what we want to be open to. So working in the record does not give us license to dictate the terms of our future. What it does, however, is prepares us and conditions us to flow into, to move into an experience of our own future that is more loving, that is more enjoyable, that is deeply satisfying, right? So rather than saying, in my future, I don't know, I have to live in a warm, sunny place on the beach. Well, I mean, that might be fine, but and that may actually happen. However, what's really important is the experience that I'm seeking, right? So I'm in my record, and I know that there is a way, there's a sense I want to have in myself, like, oh, I love that feeling of being so free and open and productive, and anything's possible. Now, the truth of the matter is, maybe that is in a warm, sunny place on a beach. Very possible, but maybe it's not, right? Maybe it's on the Great Plains, right? Where there's expansive, tracts, vast tracts of flat land, right? With cold winters and beautiful snowfalls, right? Maybe that's where it is. So we want to be open to the conditions, the circumstances, the situations. We want to be open to that and focus on the experience that we're seeking. Focusing on the experience we seek will actually make it easier for us to find our way into circumstances that fit and support that experience. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense to you guys. Because I have to tell you, it's really, I know, oh, Linda's here. Hi, Linda. I know how frustrating it can be because there's a lot of confusing information about the record, how to use it, what you can use it to do. And when we use the record inappropriately, right, we will be disappointed. And that disappointment is awful, just awful, right? But when we use the record in more appropriate ways, what happens is we find that we are able to multiply exponentially our positive experiences. And so when we're looking at how do I clear up the past? How do I get what I want? So listen, what everybody wants to feel loved. Everybody wants an opportunity to love and give and share, right? We all want, and there are some things like maybe, I don't know, you and I may want different, we may want it in different forms. That's fine. That's perfect, right? We're unique individuals, right? With a shared core. And so the way we recognize and experience different things, it's going to be different, right? But the fact of the matter is we want to be open, right? Because the idea is not, we are engaged in, I don't know what you call it. I think we call it a dance, right? For lack of a better word. Not that I'm a good dancer. I'm really not. But, we're engaged in, it's a relationship that we have with life, right? And so the idea is not that we just force our will on life. Good luck. Or have life like crush us, like, right? That's there. It's somewhere in between. And when we can engage with life in this way and be involved in this dance, right? We do our part, life responds, we check it out, right? Things come and go, they grow and morph and change and develop, and we evolve. We transform, and we find our fulfillment sometimes in least likely places. That's certainly been my experience. So we want to be open to the life that we're really living, right? And to understand if there are really deep desires. Listen, it might be in your heart of hearts that you really want to be an actor on stage. You want to be a stage actor. Maybe you wanted that since you were 5, right? Then you might want to get yourself to New York or to London. You might want to put yourself in a place where the live theater is happening, right? Because you could be a tremendous talent, but if you're in the middle of Saskatchewan, I can't even say it, but if you're out there in the middle, if you're in Siberia, it's going to be hard. Okay. And if you anyway, I have to laugh at myself. I can say the word, I can't. I'm like, bleh. Anyway, so there you go. You understand. So pay attention to those very deep, unbudgeable desires of your heart, right? Because those do mean something. And, and you want to pay attention. If you want to be on television, you might want to go to Los Angeles, right? So pay attention to your deepest dreams, the ones that never go away, right? And put yourself in places where it's right, where it's more possible, where it's easier for you. Make it easier on yourself. So anyway, so that's really what I have to say today about all these things. And I wonder if you guys have questions. Questions. Sasha. Hi, Sasha. Oh, Sasha from LA. Nice to see you. Thank you. Oh, Saskatchewan. Thank you, Belinda. I love it. I love it. Is that funny? It's so bad. I'm sorry. So does anybody have questions? Does anybody have one question? No. Oh, I see some stars and hearts. I love them. I love those. Cool. Cool, cool. All right. Well, listen, here's the thing. All right. I'm here. All right. And I am happy to answer your questions. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like you guys are in good shape for today, which is great. That's great. So I just want to let you know that in April, I don't know when it is, mid-April, I'll be doing healing through the Akashic records, right? Which is based on the material from my second book. I'll be doing that live online. I have a whole team of people who are helping me, right? Because I want to make sure. I think one of the problems with online courses is sometimes I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I don't get enough personal attention. And so the way the course is designed, I will be teaching. It's 8 sessions. I will be teaching 6 out of 8. There's new material being presented. I've got 2 extra sessions with an elite certified teacher. Patty Collinsworth will be assisting me in this. And then we have 4 other elite certified teachers who will be working with you. I just want to make sure that you have the training and the attention that you deserve. So just so you know, there's a lot of opportunities for us to work together. All right. The other thing is we do have the early bird price. Do you love the early bird? I do. The early bird price is good up until March 1st. Okay. So if you want to get in on the early bird, I would certainly do that. Okay. Now, I think there's a question. I'm getting ding, 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 ding. I'm getting the alerts. We are smart. You are smart. How do I tease out what is acceptable between values and morals and unconditional love? I don't think I understand your question. Between morals and unconditional love. Well, do you know what, Danielle? This is an interesting question that I don't know that I understand it, but I'll take a stab, right? I'll take a crack at it. Okay. All right. So here's what I want to say about this. Unconditional love is this. It is this awareness that no matter how you are, no matter what you've experienced, no matter what you've done, no matter what you haven't done, right? No matter what, you're okay. Like you're still, you're still included in the human family. You're not going to get thrown out. Okay? That's unconditional love. Unconditional love is recognizing the goodness at the core of someone, even when their behavior is ridiculous. Okay? So now, unconditional love is not cheering for bad behavior. That's not unconditional. I don't know what that is, but that's not unconditional love, right? We can understand that people sometimes take actions that cause great harm in their search for love. Okay, that doesn't mean we have to stick around for it, right? So like you have your values, I have we all have our values, right? Things that we have our standards, and we might want others to live up to our standards. Sometimes we can't even live up to our own standards, right? But but the idea is not, no one around us has to change. Say, great. Um, I understand that this is important to you, and that's fine, but I'm not going to be here for it. And so that's what, so we want to be clear that the only person, if we can change anyone, it's ourselves. So if someone, let's say someone likes to have, they like to wake up in the morning and have a big old margarita, right? Nothing wrong. It's great. And, fine. But we're like, no, you can't do that. Well, the fact is they can. But if I don't like it, I have to remove myself. To think that I'm going to convince somebody not to have the margarita for breakfast is crazy thinking on my part. Unconditional love is to love myself enough to say, oh, Lenny, this makes you very uncomfortable. Why are you hanging out with someone who's having margaritas for breakfast? Or whatever it is, smoking cigarettes, robbing banks, stealing drugs, writing bad checks, the opportunities for bad behavior. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of them. Anyway, so we want to begin to tease that out. And we can certainly let other people know how we feel. I mean, that's all fine. But to understand that we're responsible for our own love and care first and foremost. So if somebody's hitting you with the frying pan and you don't like it, you can ask them to stop. But, they don't have to, right? The question is, how do I take care of myself? These aren't my values. I remove myself from the situation. Okay, so so we go back and forth with that. And these things morph throughout our lives. I hope that makes sense, honey. Let me know, Danielle. Now, Jeffrey has a question. When working in the records, what are some of the methods of information that is received? Jeffrey, I hope I'm answering this correctly. So when we work in the records, okay, there are, what happens, okay, when we say the pathway prayer process, we become more sensitive to, more aware of, right, some of the we become more sensitive. I mean, that's really what happens. Okay, so here's how this goes. So we ask, right? We ask for questions, we ask for guidance, we ask for direction, right? And in that process, a few things happen. Some people see images. So if we have 100 people, right? 10 of them, 10% of the people who work in the records see images. Now, it's not with the physical eye, it's with the strong eye. But they will say like, oh, it looks like a waterfall, or, looks like a tree is growing. It looks like I see you walking, and your shoes are worn out, or whatever it is, right? There are 10% of the people see images, right? And the job of the practitioner is to report, describe and report, describe and share what it looks like, right? What it seems like, and to begin to work with the client or with yourself if you're reading yourself. How does this image answer my question? What is the relationship? I mean, you have to use your head here, right? So when we work in the records, even though we are having this ultra sensitive experience, we still have, you take your good common sense with you. Okay, so that's one thing. 5% of the people hear things. Okay, that's not very many. That means out of 100 people, 5 will hear words, which blows my mind, because I want to tell you something. I don't ever hear anything. I don't have this, right? I do not have this. Anyway, that's very cool. And the job of the person, the practitioner, is to convey, right, what they're hearing, and to think about, right, to have an exploration. How does what I'm hearing address the concern of my client? Can be the self. Okay. But I hear, okay, so now we're up to 15%. 85%. It means 85 out of 100. That's most of us. Have what's called a sense of knowing. Okay. In the sense of knowing, you have a feeling. You have feelings. Now, this is not phenomena. It's not like, oh, I feel buzzing on my cheek. I feel heat on the top of my head. No, no, no. That's phenomena. I don't know what that is. Okay. Some people, that's meaningless. Is it glamorous? Yes, it's very glamorous. It doesn't mean anything, though, right? What's important are the emotions, the human emotions, right? So I like to imagine this. It's like when I open the records, right? This source of light that's already, I mean, we already have it within us. We're just amplifying it, right? So I say the prayer and I step into, I'm going to step over here. I step into this column of light, and the light pours in through my crown, right down through the upper inner channel, and it lands, so to speak, on the floor of the heart center. I like to imagine that the floor of the heart center is like maybe a lake or a mirror, and when the light bounces and hits that, all the treasures embedded in your soul are ignited. All the wisdom you've been gathering for your countless lives, stimulated, right? All of this starts to awaken, right? And we begin to describe what we are, what it feels like, what it seems like. This is not a hard science. Okay, if you want a hard science, that's not what this is, right? This is just not. We are human beings. We are creative. We are spherical. We are juicy. However, so we start to describe what it seems like, right? And as we describe that, we can begin to entertain for ourselves and our clients, if we're working with others, how this is related to the concern, right? And the concerns we have, we always want to start with ordinary concerns about the present, right? What's going on in my life right now that I can't seem to figure out, or I'm struggling with, or drives me crazy, or I wish I could change it. I seem to not be very successful. These kinds of things. So 85% of people have what I call sense of knowing, right? So we have 85, okay, good. 85% is sense of knowing. 10% is visual, and 5% is audio. Okay, good. Marta joined us. Hi, Marta. Nice to have you. So I hope that answers your question, Jeffrey. Let me know. All right, cool. So listen. I think this is all for today. If you guys don't have any questions, I'll go. But if you want, I'll tell you what, I will be back next Tuesday, 1:00 Central Time. Okay. So if you want to join us again, that would be terrific. You can join us, you can tell your friends, you can, right, do all those kinds of things. And you can bring your questions, right? Because I don't know, you may have noticed, but I know what I like to talk about. But I don't always know what you want to hear, what you need to hear, right? I am not reading anybody's minds. I'm not like psychically, stalking you to find out what you need to know. But I am very happy. If you ask, I will do my very best to bring forward a higher truth that will help you on your way. So thank you for being here today. It's always good to be with friends. And so for now, let's leave this be and let's go forward to seek and find the light in the people we know and the people we are encountering for the very first time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.